Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We are from group 11. Would like to explain about cognitive stylistic. Our members are Rahmadio Saufi, Sarifia Larasati Putri, and myself, Sisla Rahmi. We start from the introduction and origin of cognitive stylistic. So the meaning of cognitive stylistic is cognitive stylistic is an advanced field on the crossroad of linguistics, cognitive science, and literary studies that propose the integration of linguistic analysis with cognitive theories. Cognitive stylistic also we can call it with cognitive poetic. Cognitive stylistic itself is the one of major new development in the study of linguistics. Cognitive stylistic interface between linguistic literacy studies and cognitive science. So the next one is origin from the analytic cognitive stylistic. Based on A. Richard laid the foundation for cognitive psychology that Richard drew to build a theory of literature and interpretation which is itself prefigure cognitive stylistic. So cognitive stylistic has several theories that include in cognitive stylistic. So there are some theories in cognitive stylistic. The first one is schema theory. Schema theory sometimes we call as a frame, a script, or scenario. A schema sometimes we call as a frame, script, or scenario. And how about the schema theories? Schema theories cognitive structure and give information about our understanding. Our understanding that not includes in the text or not fully specific in the text. You can read from our PowerPoint the definition of schema theories. I will read it. Schema theory is a cognitive structure that gives information about our understanding of the word. That means a schema contains an information that helps the readers to comprehend exploiting details that are either not mentioned at all or not fully specific in the text. So, according to Emmott, Alexander, and also Maslach, 2014, page 270, said that schema is used in explaining the nature of narrative by showing that an interference can be made to links even provide extra information interpretation of what is statement. What is state? Schema, as we know that frame, scenario, or script. Schema theory is a key idea within cognitive stylistic, which derives primarily from psychology and artificial intelligence. Cognitive stylistic not only have one theory, but also not only have schema theory, but the next theory is cognitive metaphor theory and conceptual metaphor theory. Cognitive metaphor theory same with conceptual metaphor theory. It was exploited by George Lakoff and Markov Johnson in their work of metaphor. So conceptual or cognitive metaphor is refers to our understanding on one idea or conceptual domain in the term of another. So the next material will be explained by my friend Sarifia Larasati Putri.
Okay, I will explain the next material. It is text or theory. It is originated by Paul Worth in 1990. It is a connection between a literature and events in the real world. The text word theory is the word shared by the writer and the reader. Text-to-self connection are highly personal connections that a reader makes between a piece of reading material and the reader's own experience or life. And the next slide is foregrounding theory. It refers to the range of stylistic effects that occur in literature, whether at the phonetic level, the grammatical level, or the semantic level. The notion of foregrounding, a term borrowed from the Prague School of Linguistics, is used by Leck and Short to refer to artistically motivated deviation. The next material will be explained by Rahmadio Sofi.
So this is an example of cognitive stylistic analysis of the novel titled God of Small Things by Arundhati Roy. For the purposes of illustrating the two text words and schema theory, I will now examine the first chapter of the novel. The novel begins with the description of flora and fauna of INM. It is colorful and fecund, all the verbs and the present tense. From this panoramic view of countryside, we are introduced to Rahel and there is switch into past tense. It was raining when Rahel came to INM. The deictic markers of time and the tense clearly indicate the switch from past to present to past. It should be noted that Rahel 1 text words is in the past tense, whereas the Rahel 2 text words is in present. The text word that is created constantly disrupted because new elements are introduced and they are schema altering. Let us just take one example and examine it closely. This is the first time that we are being introduced to Feluda. From the information above, we don't know anything about him. Schema theory says that if there is incoherence in the text, the reader attempts to fill the gaps to make the sense of narration. This seems to be a common feature of the text where new elements are introduced, disrupting the schema, requiring constant readjustment. Within the frame, there are 4 text words which belong to the 4 characters. The first one is Baby Kochama, and then Chako, Amo, and then Feluda. But Amo and Feluda are united by the love of each other and by the love for the twins. This love is reciprocated by Rahel and Esta. The fifth text word is the one inhabited by Rahel and Esta, and is the text word which is most interest to us. Firstly, it predominates over a large section of the novel, and its text word consists of subwords that switch between the narrative consciousness of Rahel, the adult, and Rahel, the child. And then the schema of Rahel 1 and Rahel 2 text word. Based on this list, you can see that the schema of Rahel 1 is very limited, whereas the schema of the child 1 or Rahel number 2 is carefully constructed by the author. And then the last one is metaphor. At the very outset, it must be stated that Rahel 1 text word does not consist of the same metaphor as the one that we find in Rahel number 2. While there are many interesting metaphors in the novel, for my purposes today, I will only focus on the fear metaphor, silence metaphor, and the concept of big and small. The first one is fear as much. You can read the paragraph first. And then the Rahel grandfather Papachi was an entomologist who discovered a new mud. Unfortunately for him, he retired before the scientific community could acknowledge the discovery of a new species. With the result, the mud was named after the man who succeeded him in the job. This bitterness crept into his soul and causing him to treat his family shabby and beating up his wife. He only stopped when his son beat him worse. The mud becomes the metaphor for fear in the novel in Rahel 2 text word. The target domain is fear and the source domain is the mud. And then the second one is quietness or silence, loss of person. Silence is associated with Esta. Here again, the target domain is silence and the source domain is person. Loss is mainly associated with Sophie Mel, whereas loss is the target domain and source domain is person. The last one is big or small. The mega metaphor in the novel is called small things. Small things. Sorry, my tongue, which resonates with meaning. In the text word, small things stand for untouchable caste, supposed to the high-ranking Syrian Christian. It stands for poverty, classlessness, and squalor. But at the same time, God stands for generosity, talent, nobility, love. The big things in the novel are the government, the police, the chairperson of the Communist Party in Ireland, the owner of Paradise Pickles, and James who can order the death of another human being. All small things are associated with the twins and Fluda. Even the dreams in the novel are divided into big and small. The title of the novel, of course, is metaphorical. The god of small things is Fluda. The untouchable will give his abundant love to the twins with neither fear nor favor. He provides succor to Amu, who has been abandoned by their own family and by the forces of history. But the union of Fluda and Amu is doomed from the start because of the difference of the caste and class. The tragedy is filtered through the text word of an 8-year-old child whose schema does not recognize.